All rise.
This is Deeper Than Money. Talk to me. I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
If he is not going to honor you, he needs to be gone.
Compassionate.
I don't want you to give up on your dreams. I don't. And I want to figure out how we get this straight.
She's powerful.
If I were in this situation, I would have put you out too.
And she's on the bench.
I feel like I'm being judged here.
That's what I do.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Bronner Douglas is suing Angelina Vincent in the amount of $895. Mr. Douglas claims his sister backed out of being his liver donor and says she owes him for the cost of a sky-high plane ticket.
It is no secret that I am troubled when I see siblings on opposite sides of my courtroom. You know, that I'm sorry that you all could not work this out. But the underlying piece of this case is very, very serious and involves a liver transplant, I understand. All right, so Bronner, why don't you begin? This is your sister. You're suing her, but it is far more than just the reimbursement of an airline ticket, as I understand from reading the complaint. So what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. I am suing my sister for $895 for a first-class ticket that I purchased for her so that I could have a liver transplant, 1/3 of her liver, which regenerates. She matched the blood type, and at the last minute, she canceled the surgery.
Well, let's go back, because I think that people often think about organ transplants as being from a person who has died to a person who needs a liver or a heart or a kidney. But what the reality is that livers actually, it's an organ that can regenerate. And so that you can actually get a portion of a live donor's liver, and it'll actually grow back. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And I did not know that until some years ago. But you had to have someone who was a match.
Yes.
And I understand that there was a family gathering and that you all talked about this. Is that correct?
That is correct. After the pandemic, our family got together on Thanksgiving, and I was speaking to my cousin Johnny about just how bad my situation really is.
And so explain that to us. Explain to what was going on at that point that you needed to have a liver transplant. What was happening with you?
Yes, I have a liver disease. I have third stage decompensation.
And what does that mean?
That is, I'm reaching some of my final stages. I need to have a transplant quickly. I need a donor quickly. If I wait, it could worsen, and I could die.
So unlike, say, a gallbladder, or you could live with one kidney because you have two, you cannot live without a liver. I mean, is that bottom line?
Yes.
You have to have a liver that's functioning to be able to survive. And so you all are talking about this at a family gathering, and what happens?
So my cousin Johnny spoke with some of the family members, 4 of which agreed to be tested, and Angelina was there, and she insisted that she would be the donor because we already knew she was a blood type. We had the same blood type, which is important.
So before I talk to your sister, I want to know what led to your liver problems.
So to be quite frank, I had a problem with alcohol. I changed. I have gone to AA for about 2 years now, and I have turned my situation around, but it is the partying alcoholism that caused
Caused the problems with your liver.
my liver damage.
But the good news is that you're saying, though, that you went to AA,
Yes.
Alcoholics Anonymous,
I did.
and that you have turned your life around.
I have.
And that is your sworn testimony here today.
Yes, it is.
So now, Angelina, you're at Thanksgiving, it's after COVID, the family is together, and you find out that your brother needs a liver transplant. So what was your response?
Well, my brother made the announcement, and let's back up. This was the first time we had seen him in a long time due to his drug and alcohol abuse issues.
When you say a
hardly ever
long
seen him.
time, we're talking...
He avoids family functions, so it had really been years before he had come
Years.
to a function like that.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
They were saving the liver, hypothetically, their own daughters, which...
Wait,
so-
that doesn't make any sense to me. The
Yes.
daughters were not sick.
No, they're not.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Bronner Douglas, who is suing his sister, Angelina Vincent, for travel expenses.
He was typically very inebriated, falling down drunk. One time he screamed at our parents. He scared my little daughter, Billy. It's been a very, very difficult and painful relationship, and I love him so much, but it's just been so hard to just watch him and not be able to do something, to just watch him throw his life away.
Alcoholism doesn't just affect the alcoholic, that it has such rippling effects for all kinds of family members and people who are affected. The most glaring is this one you've just talked about, is the absence of there being a separation. Even when you're physically in proximity with a family member, if they are dealing with the issue of alcoholism, then they are really in so many ways absent. And it's very hard to connect, it's very hard to have that kind of relationship with them. And so I'm pleased to hear that he was at the family gathering. You all were together after COVID, and it sounds like that this was a very positive situation at that point. You said something very important. You said, I love my brother.
I love my brother. I love him so much, and it is so hurtful to be here today. It is so hurtful.
So at dinner, the conversation centers around his need for a liver transplant. And because you were a match, you agreed to do the liver transplant.
I did, but it felt like there was a manipulative tactic happening.
Tell me
knew-
how.
He knew that I was likely the only one there who could be a donor.
Was she the only one there who could be a donor?
No, Your Honor. My cousin Bruce, who was also a match, who eventually became my donor, was also a donor. But she,
So he was at the dinner.
he was there, but she insisted.
Okay, so you were not the only possibility, right?
That's correct, but it was likely that I would be because I was the only sibling who is a 100% sibling to him. Our other siblings are half siblings.
All right, so now there's dinner. Clearly he's in a better state. He is at dinner, he's fully present, he's not drunk. But I'm still trying to understand why you said that you felt that it was manipulative.
I felt like it was manipulative because, like I said, this was the first time we had seen him in a while, and he knew that the chances were that I would be the only donor, the only person who could donate. He took the time to get up and talk about the need for him to have a living liver donor. And the fact that he did this in front of all of our family, and he didn't just take me aside and talk to me about it, he made a point of talking about it in front of the entire family at dinner. So there was a huge public pressure for me to agree to do it. I felt like they would have seen me as a jerk if I hadn't agreed there on the spot.
I'm sorry you felt that way, and I'm sorry that came across that way. But I also want you to see it from his perspective, that this is the first time he's been back in the fold. He's at dinner, and he is in crisis. And perhaps he felt the need to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
Not just the people who were the potential matches, but everybody. Because I'm sensing that in that situation, he would need the support. He would need the support not only of the potential donor, but all of the family. Because it sounds like he's trying to get it back together, that he is going to AA, he's trying to change his life, and it's not just the liver transplant so much as wanting to be back in the fold.
Sure.
That's just my commentary here. So now you agree, and then what happens?
And then what happens, Your Honor, is I start to notice some, I would say, red flags in his behavior.
What kind of red flags?
He suddenly stopped talking to me, which is very similar to his behavior when he was drinking and abusing drugs. I felt like I was losing my brother all over again.
So stop right there. When you say that he stopped talking to you, and that was indicative of a pattern you'd seen before,
Yes.
Okay, Bronner, what was happening then?
I don't know, Your Honor. I felt like her husband was, who I do not like, was being very rude to me. He made a comment when I found out later, just as an example, I found out at the hospital through her husband. I called, and he said that they were saving the liver, part of the liver, for hypothetically their own daughters, which.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes.
The daughters were not sick,
No, they're not.
and they weren't not abusing alcohol.
No, and her
And so
husband
why
is very.
would she be saving her liver for her daughters? That makes no sense to me.
Coming up,
My brother has had these issues with drugs and alcohol the entire time he has known them. My husband has rarely seen him sober, and he has seen the impact that my brother's behavior has had on me.
you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Bronner Douglas, who is suing his sister, Angelina Vincent, for travel expenses.
So let's back up. You say you don't like her husband. Why not?
No, he's very controlling. He's very manipulative. She could definitely do better.
Was your husband at the dinner?
He was at the dinner.
Did you all talk about your decision, or did you make that decision unilaterally? In other words, did you just decide on your own, or did you have a conversation with your husband about that decision?
We were not able to have a conversation before I agreed because this was at the dinner with everybody there, and I had to say something in the moment.
Well, I don't know that you had to say something in the moment. I think you were feeling pressured. You could have gone to another room. Now, all of this is hindsight, and I'm not being critical of you because I can see the situation, family gathering, your brother's in crisis, I need to do something, and I made the decision. So now, having made that decision, what happened?
Well, my husband did not agree, to say the least, that was the correct decision.
So was there a tension between your husband
Yes.
and your brother?
Yes.
Why?
My husband and my brother do not get along, which is very clear. My husband has seen my brother's behavior ever since my husband and I met, and my brother has had these issues with drugs and alcohol the entire time he has known them. My husband has rarely seen him sober, and he has seen the impact that my brother's behavior has had on me.
Coming up,
The morning that I was supposed to donate a portion of my liver, my husband called and told me about some social media posts he had made celebrating 420. you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Bronner Douglas, who is suing his sister, Angelina Vincent, for travel expenses.
The morning that I was supposed to donate a portion of my liver, my husband called and told me about some social media posts he had made celebrating 420, celebrating smoking weed. He was advocating and using weed again. And for him, it's never just weed. It's weed plus everything else. He's not gonna take care of his own body. I can't save him. I can't save his life for him. He's gonna take care of himself first.
Talk to me. What is happening?
Yes. So first of all, I am not using alcohol, as I had said. My doctors, I would not even be allowed to have the surgery if I was using alcohol. My blood would be tested,
Right,
and they would not
that I
permit.
do know to be true, that you would have to go all these
Yes,
screenings,
so
and they would reject you.
And I would not put my situation worse than it already is,
Right.
or was. And I made a post supporting 420 because I take medical
Marijuana.
gummies for pain. I am in extreme pain, and it is less addictive than other medications.
And you know, why not talk to him? Why not say, look, what is this? What is this?
My husband absolutely did not want me to do it, but at the same time, I was so angry. I was scared to be going under to do this serious surgery when I did not in my heart believe that my brother was no longer abusing drugs and alcohol.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
I don't think he cares about the $900 so much. I bet you if he really boils down to it, you would much rather have her in your life than the $900.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want my brother back. I love you.
Come on, you gotta.
want you in
you
my life.
gotta meet her halfway here. You're not even trying.
I hope that we can learn and grow from this experience together.
Oh my God, help me, Harvey. You know, days like this, I'm really trying. All right, we're gonna take this $900 and we're gonna split it in half. She's gonna pay you $450, but you gotta let it go, because it's really bigger than the money. You hear me?
It is.
So what is half of $900, $450 is my judgment, but more importantly, I want you all to go and sit in my office, and I want you to figure this out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
don't even want them to comment. Just get them out of here. Get them in my office. We'll stand adjourned. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $450.
Section to the rear of the court. Make sure I get evidence. Let's continue this discussion. Watch your step. Keep on.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.